Good morning, I'm Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business, and always look forward to our what we're kind of calling it right now. I'm trying to figure out a good name for it, but we're doing a lot of expanded content in the arena of the mid-market companies. I say often in this program that the romantic small business gets plenty of ink, and of course the intrigue behind the mega enterprise level businesses always gets it lots of attention. But not as much when it comes to the the folks in the mid market, and so we're increasing that awareness through segments that I'm doing with several people, including Marty Okner. And Marty is now a good friend of the Price of Business. And Marty, talk a little bit about your association and then also what you do for a living.
Sure. So I'm chairman of ACG New York, which is the largest chapter of ACG Global, which is actually the largest association of middle market transactional and private equity and service professionals servicing middle market companies, of which there's about 300,000 throughout the United States. So we do have a nice core, and it represents about 1/3 of U.S. GDP. And employs about 48 million people throughout the United States. So, Kevin, to your point, it is very much a force in the economy. And through the Association for Corporate Growth, we really look to build relationships among the private capital professionals and those professionals who are running these middle market companies in order to give them the capital that they need to grow and expand. So it is a dominant force in the economy, and really have a great story to tell with private capital as its growth engine.
Very good. Introduce us to your guest today.
Excellent. So I'm very pleased to introduce somebody who I've done business with now for over 6 years, and also serve on the board of directors of ACG New York with Mr. Bob Landis, who is with the Riverside Company. So welcome to the show, Bob.
Well, thank you very much, Marty. Glad to be here.
Bob, real quickly. I'm sorry. We're going to fall over each other. Bob, real quickly, why don't you just give us your elevator speech? Tell us what you're all about.
Yeah, I had the origination function at a company called the Riverside Company. We are probably one of the largest private equity firms that is global and also focuses on the smaller end of the middle market. And by that I mean companies that have EBITDA from $500,000 up to $25 to $30 million, which covers a wide gamut of companies located in North America, Europe, and Asia. We are located on 11 countries and 4 continents. Enterprise value, as I may have mentioned, is anywhere between $10 million up to $300, which means companies of sales from $10 million up to probably about $120, $130 million. The most important thing, I think, is that we look for little leaders. And with our staff around the world, our goal is to take small little leaders and turn them into better companies, bigger companies, and then somewhere after 5 to 6 years, we look to exit these, create a realization for our limiteds, which are pension funds, that's school pension funds, endowments, unions, municipalities, governments, and create value both for our limiteds as well as the management of the company.
Yeah, very good. By the way, the interview is about 8 minutes, and so I know we're going to both have a lot of questions, so please keep that in mind. But that's a very thorough understanding. I appreciate that. Go ahead, Marty.
Yeah, so Bob, one of the things, and knowing that the Price of Business really has a lot of middle market business owners listening in, a lot of what comes top of mind to a middle market company when they're considering selling an interest to a private equity firm is losing control. And, it really speaks to, in many cases in our experience, how they partner with a private equity firm. So I wanted to explore just at a very high level, how you look at how a business owner could really be an ideal CEO leader of a portfolio company.
Right. I don't look at it as losing control. I look at it as gaining a partner. Now, one of the things that a entrepreneur who has spent a lot of time with blood, sweat, and tears creating value in his company is he's giving up the child that he created. And if his goal is to exit, that's one story. But we tend to look to partner to the existing management. They know the company better. We don't run companies, but we provide the resources to help them grow and development. And a partnership is exactly how we look at it. When we buy a company, we expect the management and the entrepreneur to reinvest some of his money that he got from the sale back into the company, because there's nothing like having skin in the game, and that means they're committed to the company to grow it. Whatever their strategy is, and we hope it's the same that aligns with ours, and ours is to grow and triple the sales, triple the EBITDA, create a better company, and in 5 to 7 years get that realization for our limiteds, and quite frankly for the management himself. The entrepreneur typically will get a second bite of the apple when they sell that company, and they will make more money on that second exit when we sell the company than they ever did when we bought that company from them.
Yeah, that's interesting. By the way, I don't think we've got your website yet. Can we get that from you real quick?
Sure, www.riversidecompany.com, and that will list all of our 80-some companies around the world.
Marty, we got a couple of minutes left. You want to wrap it up for us?
Yeah, sure. Bob, one of the things that I'd like to explore, you were mentioning tripling the sales, tripling the EBITDA. What does that look like in terms of partnering with Riverside in order to do that? What are some of the resources that you bring to the table in order to do that for your portfolio companies?
The original goal when you sit down with the entrepreneur is, what is your strategy to grow the business? And we'll create a 100-day plan, sometimes even before they close, to say these are the things we need to do in the first 3 months. But we also create a 1-year plan and a rolling 5-year plan. And it's not about taking control of the company. It's providing the resources, not only money. We provide training to the CEO and to the CFO. We have classes. We have what we call the Riverside University. Next week we're having a 3-day seminar, University of Michigan. We do this every year with all the CEOs, and we start talking about the existing portfolios and how can we improve that particular company. And we'll take 1 or 2 companies each year and dissect them, and we've found that the return on those companies that get dissected 2 years later is much stronger because these people take it to heart. We have seminars for their HR people. We come in and help them with their IT. Many companies we buy are on QuickBooks, which is an adequate system, but not a great system when you're looking to improve and make this company a very robust for the accounting, for the warehousing, for the inventory management.
Yeah. Got to wrap it up with that, gentlemen.
There's a lot of peer-to-peer.
Yeah. We got to wrap that up. Good, thorough discussion. Obviously, the listener's going to want to get more information. By the way, we gave our guest website. Why don't you give yours, Marty, real quick before we call it a segment?
Sure thing. Thanks, Kevin. It's shmcnglobal.com. Once again, it's shmcnglobal.com. And if you'd like to learn more about ACG New York, that's acgnyc.org.
All right, Marty Okner, as always, thanks so much. And his guest today, Bob Landis. Good talking to you, Bob. Enjoyed it very much. All right, when we come back, much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdatareview.com, and this is The Price of Business.